Yes, 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 ladies and gentlemen, greetings. Greetings. It's Friday. It's my favorite time of week. It is Friday, and this is Epic Cash Live. And with me, I have our good friend, McMurphy, who always opens up the show. I'm going to do a screen share here in a second. And we have Max Freeman, founder of Epic Cash, on the line as well. So coming to you after breaking all-time high after all-time high after all-time high all week. This is going to get good. So Enrique, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to take it over to you. And for, as I always say, the uninitiated, who this show might be their first, just go ahead and give a little bit of backstory on what you pulled together here and what we should interpret from it.
All right. Good morning to everyone. Well, what we have here is a table that shows a comparison between Epic Cash and the top 15 cryptocurrencies by market cap. The way this works is that on September 3rd, I began a thought experiment in which I took $1,000 and I invested it into Epic. And then I took $1,000 and bought each of the top 15 cryptocurrencies by market cap on that date. So you can see the list there. And the way it works is the following. In the case of Epic Cash, the price on September 3rd was 32 cents per coin. So $1,000 would have bought you 3,125 coins. And then on the next column, you can see on September 3rd, the value of your portfolio was $1,000. So if we fast forward to today, in which I took a snapshot, I do this every Friday. I take it at 11 a.m. Eastern. I've been doing it at 11:15, but I wanted to switch it back a few minutes because it's too close to the hour. So yeah. We'll do it at 11 from now on. But it's basically every Friday morning that I take the snapshot. So today's price was $4.60. So as you can see, that's quite the increase. The total value of the portfolio with just the $1,000 invested would be worth $14,375 today. That's equal to $13,375 unrealized profit and an increase, a percentual increase of 1,337%. And then we have the market cap, which it has experienced similar growth, 1,569%. We went from a $4 million market cap, and it was currently today at $66 million. So you can see that it's been quite an impressive run that we've had. And when we compare Epic to the rest of the coins, as you can see, Luna and Matic have done pretty well. Luna has increased from $32 to 68, which is an increase of 108%. Matic has increased 60%, and you can see the rest, which are also in double digits. And we see the red ones that have, taken quite a beating. And if you look at the last line, the one that's in yellow that says top 15 average, this is to compare what would have happened if you would have taken those $1,000 and distributed them evenly amongst the top 15 coins, or diversifying into all of them. So those $1,000, if you would have taken and bought all 15 coins, you would have $65 in profit today. So yeah, that's the comparison, and the results are clear.
So let me give another, let me stop share, and I just want to come over here and do another screen share. Explain this to us, if you would.
Yeah, this is comparing, this is a graph that's showing the portfolio value of the $1,000 invested in Epic Cash against the $1,000 diversified into the top 15 coins since September 3rd to today. So, the top 15, it's pretty much a flat line, the $65 profit or 6.5% increase versus the Epic Cash, that's started with $1,000 and now that portfolio is worth, about over $14,000. So yeah, the difference is massive, and I think that by next year, at some point, we're going to need to start using log scales to better represent this.
And that's no kidding. And
No.
I want to share with people, and as I am wont to do, just share my personal experience. So there's a lounge that you and I are both in Telegram called Cryptonaires, to where most of them are into the diversification of things that look like this line now. And
Yes.
when I started talking about Epic Cash, and you did, well, we got to this point right here, like yesterday, and I simply dropped in there a link to the video that I did recently. I think it was with Max, a live stream. And I was asked by the owner of Cryptonaires Lounge to please not discuss Epic Cash anymore. So I have left the group because you know what, to actually be sharing all of this positive growth and the positive attributes, but having these people that are down here that just don't, they gave us shit. They called Epic trash, Epic smash, Epic everything the whole time you've been there with me on and I'm done. I'm sick of it. And it's like, people, Max's term, I think this is Talk Track 223, people get the price of Epic they deserve. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. Go ahead.
A lot of talk about what you should do is, in that group, there's a lot of talk about diversification and how it's a must. And, my approach is whatever you're comfortable with. In the end, what matters are the results. And personally, I don't see the point in diversifying into overvalued coins when, you have the best cryptocurrency that exists. So I see no point in diversifying, and the results are quite clear, and they'll continue to go that way. So, it'll be fun to do this comparison.
Yeah, let me share with you two lines that came to mind that I just opened up my notes that I wrote down. That Max, I think you're going to like. Criticism is answered with achievement. I love that. And that's what we're experiencing right now. And then the second line I wrote was, I, for one, am not content to sleepwalk. And when it comes to what's really happening with Epic Cash. So I do want to share with everyone, tonight we're going to have a live stream, and it's going to be a fun one. And it's going to be Max, and it's going to be me, and it's going to be Enrique, or El McMurphy, as you know him. And I was asked by some people if we could please, include some of the privacy coins on this chart and the TCV picks. And I was like, no, we don't want to, this is an exercise that is rock solid, and it is what it is. And we're going to cover it every Friday. But tonight we're going to introduce a new chart. And, little birdie out there, I just put in the chat, can someone please give me the latest breakdown of the crypto Vigilante portfolio? So Enrique has gone to work, and by tonight we're going to be fully prepared to be able to discuss how much that $795 membership to the Crypto Vigilante has cost each subscriber. Why? Because anytime Epic Cash has ever been introduced in there, it gets shut down. As a matter of fact, they have a bot that says, let us remember that Epic Cash is nowhere nearly as fungible as Monero. And they trash Mimblewimble and just false assertion. So I'm like, that's a great show. Let's put together their portfolio. And I know, El McMurphy, you're going to go back and you're going to do it in all of these fair ways. And then Max, you're going to be able to speak to this based upon how the other day you were talking about Monero, about how it's really performing in the market based upon the comparison to Bitcoin in Bitcoin terms. So that was very educational to me. So I want to let everyone know that's going to be fun. It's going to be 7 to 8 o'clock tonight, Eastern time. And if you have any TCV fanboys or girls out there who, are just in the cult to where they just let them do the thinking for you, and they just come along with, they just do the sound bites and call Epic Cash Epic Trash. Well, tonight we're just going to unpack that. We're going to unpack it fairly, and math doesn't lie. So with that, that's all I have to say. Max, I want to do a screen share, and you referenced the other day the Epic ecosystem, and it's represented visually as a subway. And I asked if you would please, for today's show, give people a peek into the future and walk through this subway system and what it all means to us and how it's all designed to work together. So it's your movie, my friend.
All right. It will be my sincere pleasure at long last. Let's go ahead and scroll in, if we can, to the properties on the right. There's 13,000 coins and tokens. What do we have that's unique and special? So censorship resistance. It needs to be impossible to shut the system down or to block you from using it. Centralization resistant. If it's prone to capture, like we've seen in Bitmain and Wall Street with BTC, then that's bad. For that, you need a community project structure with DAO governance. If you local custody based on your own seed words, yes, it's a little more difficult than a traditional style experience, but it also dramatically improves your confiscation resistance, because in South Korea, if they say you owe taxes, they're going to go directly into your wallet and take it out. Well, not your wallet, but your hosted wallet through an exchange. And so we feel that's important. In order to be truly secure, it needs to use what's known as distributed consensus, which is a more stronger form of assurance than decentralized. And always a shout out to t.me/FreemanU if you want to get into the weeds on why these nuances are so super important. Economically secure, that comes from energy efficiency. So when we get into ECK, which is basically the features that are coming into Epic through versions 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and even 9, I think is the last one that we're sketching out. We really want to show that we have a multi-year roadmap here and do more talking than we historically have about what to expect, since we have built a little bit of trust, $66 million worth of trust. We feel we owe it to really describe what it is you can expect if we're able to achieve what we think we can. And so ECK focuses on energy efficiency in a couple of ways. It runs 50-50 proof of space time. So you use the disk storage space on your mobile device or your computer. They'll both work. And 50% of blocks going to the random ARM targeted mobile mining algorithm, which of course has a lot of future relevance to Epic. So through both of those things, it becomes dramatically more energy efficient, and it also has a different emission curve and different economics that are focused on velocity that makes it a nice additional component with complementary capabilities to Epic itself, which is really focused on the hardcore store of value, which is kind of a problem if you want to denominate contracts in something that relate to time and you don't know what the market is going to value the asset at in the future. The point is we want to give builders of financial products a lot of flexibility. And so ECK is an opportunity to do that in a number of ways. For a lot of reasons, including regulatory compatibility, everything needs to be fair launched. No ICOs, no pre-mines. In some cases, a pre-mine, which is almost always bad, can actually be good if otherwise there would be an inequity between people that are already in the boat versus those that come later. Some of the drama we've seen about guys that may have sent a tweet 3 years ago and now they're coming back wanting control of our starship. That's how we address that. Free open source software, so everybody can trust it because they don't have to trust it. MEV resistant, that means miner extractable value, which means that predatory traders can't watch what you're doing, or traders and miners, and steal from you. It gets back to confiscation resistance and censorship and centralization resistance. It's got to be permissionless, because otherwise you have a lightning type problem where you need to get the government of El Salvador's permission to interface with the payment system at the McDonald's type of stuff. For practical on the ground censorship resistance, it also needs to be surveillance resistant, because China was a major force in crypto until they weren't. And now, if you even look sideways at crypto, off to the gulag for you, the reality on the ground has changed, is what our Chinese community members tell us. Wow. And so offering the ability to transact safely, despite whatever people in power may want to do to prevent others from, using our money, that's that whole set of issues. Sustainable, that a lot goes into that. I think the biggest part is that we don't have the e-waste stream coming off of hundreds of millions of kilograms of toxic ASICs per year that the BTC network needs to survive. So over time, we don't have that cost on the environment. We don't have that cost to mining operators, like just simply, it's not necessary anymore in our structure. So there's a sustainability advantage. And then trust minimization. The ideal is to verify everything locally on your device and do direct business with another party, P2P, through a blockchain. And there are certain cases, a lot of them relating to anything connected to fiat, where you have to go from trust less to trust minimized. And so that's the difference there. If you have an opt-in, eyes wide open, full well knowing, I'm choosing to trust this party because they seem trustworthy and I need to get the value of whatever that is. Services like Coinbase, as an example, it is highly unlikely that they will run away with your money tomorrow. And so if the convenience offering that they provide is worth the give up on trust, then people are willing to do it. So essentially, as we go through all of these different components, those are the common design themes that we are designing for. I know that's a lot. I'm going to take a sip of my water and let you get a word in edgewise.
Take a sip of water. And I do want to ask one question of you, Max. So this entire system is based upon us getting from version 2 to version 3. Version 3, I did have someone in the community contact me directly saying, hey, version 3 was supposed to already have been launched and nobody's really talking about it. Can you explain why version 3 hasn't been launched? I think from what I understand, it's the code has to be documented, because when you put all of the pieces together over here, you want to make sure that the rails are just rock solid. But I don't know if I'm just trying to simplify.
Yeah. Well, there's a number of moving parts to it. Let's take them in order. So the first thing is, as an ecosystem, there are all kinds of services that need to coordinate the upgrade of their network, and they need to test their code that they've run and developed internally that hooks into our stuff. And so it's not just, I mean, when we were small, it's like, okay, we built the network, it works, that people can use it. And if any problem comes up, okay, we fix it. People expect problems, teething pains with early stage tech. I mean, we had a market cap of 119,000 not long ago. Somebody showed in the main chat. So, if people value you that little, then it's okay for things to go wrong. But now there's real money on the line. And so Black Tiger is helping Bitmart engineers do the integration. And they're like, what about this? What about that? And then we go, oh, okay, it would be great if we have this and we know how to do it, but we need to spool up the resources. We need to, integrate. I mean, we're going from the crawling on the ground baby phase to the, toddler phase maybe. And we're finding our sea legs. And so we're finding all these opportunities where if we take the time now to invest in the type of things that we're going to need for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and beyond, we're creating the physical footprint if you will. If we were building a car factory, we're building a big factory to put a lot of product through. And so imagine, if you will, that you are a serious institutional investor and you're running, I don't know, $100 million worth of capital, and it's your job to do due diligence on projects. And so if your tech guy goes and, yeah, this is some slapdash, just some guys threw it together with 2 pizzas and beer over the weekend. Okay, it's not so interesting. But oh wow, like this is the hallmark of a quality endeavor here. I'm going to look at it a completely different way. And so there's a lot of eyes on us, and it is not enough to simply ship it and have it work. It's also the way that we go about it. Because different types of eyes are going to be looking at us in new ways. And it's important that we demonstrate our competence, because it will aid us in attracting capital to our ecosystem, because they'll trust it. If you imagine the detailed diligence processes, not just on the investment side, but on a technical side, DeFi stuff blows up all the time. Any blockchains, have teething problems when you connect them together. Things can go wrong and so forth. And so the bad news is that it's slower than everybody would like, least of all, or most of all me, let's say. But the good news is that with our tortoise approach, ultimately the hares kind of get tired out by the side of the road in this game over time. Most successes tend not to be lasting. And so we're taking an approach of the extreme other side, of making sure that we have a solid foundation to build on. Because
I tell you, I love it, and I'm grateful for that. I had a great interview last night with Mike Puccinelli, who's the CEO of a couple of our portfolio companies, and one, Singlecom, is a tech company. So he had some insight on code and documenting code and coders, and how that foundation has to be, airtight and perfect, or it can destroy your business. So being somebody who personally, along with Enrique, we've made the personal decisions, along with Pooch, to de-diversify and instead go narrow and deep on Epic Cash. My financial future is in the hands of this code. So I want it to be right. I don't want it to be launched prematurely. Is that fair?
let's take a look, if you would, in the 06 chat. Diego sent the Figma video. Why don't we go through the what all the fuss is about on the mobile wallet? It's a short video. I haven't even seen it yet, but let's take a look.
All right, it's going to take a second to design. I mean, to unload. Actually, I tried doing this earlier, so I'm gonna have to bow out of that exercise. It wouldn't download for me, so I can't do that.
All right, let me check.
Let me see if I have it.
Oh, okay. I'll try on my side too. I'm on mobile.
Yeah, if you can, I will. Did I stop screen sharing? I think so. Yeah, so if you could do that, that would be great. Now, everybody, Diego, I've talked about him now a little bit. He was considered the Monero Jesus over there. He was the leader in their community for a long time, and he's been with us now for about a year and really focused the last 6 months. And he is the one designing our wallet that is soon, when released, will be best of class worldwide. Any wallet out there, trust me. So with that is tee up, and it should be insightful that he has chosen to focus his time and attention on Epic Cash. Dude has an impeccable reputation, and the fact that he's putting his energy into our ecosystem should be telling for those of you who hold Monero and other privacy coins. It should be that, stamp of approval, if you will, if you're playing footsie with, do I pivot some of my holdings and go into Epic Cash or no, because TCV, they keep telling me that Epic trash sucks. Well, we'll see tonight. But anyway, having Diego on our team is literally, I think, the best kept secret we have. And so that's why we're letting it out.
Well, there are other secrets too. He's by no means the only one from other communities that we have all kinds of guardian angels from the sidelines over the years. It's amazing, you know, when times get rough, who's your friend and who's sticking a dagger between your ribs. And that's been pleasantly surprising. So we have a lot of people who care about us, and as we become meritorious of their public commitment, then there will be more like that. We really have, I feel, the best model in all kinds of ways. And even just from a financial perspective, I mean, we're 100 times more capital efficient than Monero, simply because we're valued 1/100th as much. And so it simply takes much less money to move the needle, because we have that 10x power of more future ahead of us than in the rear view, because Monero is great, but it's from 2014 and we're from 2019. And so incidentally, a lot of the value in this type of stuff comes from decentralization and openness and an ecosystem approach. And we've got about double the mining node count, 2,400 versus about 5,000, maybe considerably more than that when we get the new numbers that come out. Obviously, that's in large measure due to being GPU mineable, as well as only CPU on the RandomX. But also the lighter blockchain at 2 gigs versus 100 gigs means it's accessible and economical for more people to participate. And it's also a lot more scarce. There's only 13 million Epic, and we have a lot of halvings coming up, whereas there's, I think, what, 17, 18 million Monero, something like that. And all their mining
18.
rewards are in the rear view, whereas you can actually mine Epic and earn. Like I tell people all the time, they're like, Monero mining to the end of time, bro. And I say, okay, if you want more Monero than you currently get, then dual mine, or mine our thing and use the proceeds to buy Monero. Almost always it's more profitable than Monero itself, and it's always more profitable than ETH itself. So everybody with a GPU, and especially a GPU farm that's mining ETH, is just leaving enormous money on the table. So that's another thing we could probably get into more if people have an appetite for the content. We really appreciate the input, by the way, on what you like to see or questions you want to answer. We've noticed that the hash rate of the GPU miners is dramatically more sticky than the CPU miners. And a lot of those people came in and got involved in the community as well. So that told me that the bump from 38 to 48% on the GPU side was the right move. And so E0, one of the key components, like Epic, it's a specialized component that is only used for very certain things. But as we grow, we're going to need a lot of those things. And E0 will be 100% GPU mining as another way to reward our loyal people, in this case, mainly gamers, with a steady stream of income, because Epic, of course, is only 48% GPU mineable. So you need something else for the other times. And now we've got a way to feed them.
Excellent. So are you able to show the video?
I asked Diego to put it up
I don't have an account.
Vimeo. Yeah, it's a little wonky. We'll see if Diego can throw together a video. If not, we can go back to the subway map. But
yeah, let's do that, and let's give people a tour of the map, and specifically, let's just start off. Please, down here in the lower left is Epic Cash, and people, let's educate people on ECR. Let's not go into EC right now. Let's ECR and EUSD, the relationship there, and how that ultimately is going to create the scenario to where I can borrow against my Epic Cash asset without selling.
Okay, great. So ECR is essentially your buffet pass to our ecosystem. If you want to get in and play with all this advanced stuff, you need ECR in some measure. We don't know the economic rates. We get that question all the time. They'll be specified through governance, and of course, we'll use ECR to determine whether a certain number should be X or Y or Z. But essentially,
sorry to interrupt. I just want, before you go into this, the importance, we're going to have a snapshot to be able to do all of the fancy schmancy things that we're going to talk about, like becoming the bank of you are going to need ECR. Epic Cash right now, if you acquire Epic Cash on 25, there's going to be a snapshot to where if you have 1,000 Epic Cash coins, you're going to have 1,000 ECR. If you have 10,000 Epic Cash coins, you're going to have 10,000 ECR. But there's going to be a twin snapshot of ECK at the same time. So I'm just telling you that we have been smashing all-time high after all-time high after all-time high. And I submit, I mean, I think I was wrong, actually, and I think I might be embarrassed because I have predicted and gone on record that I think we, by end of year, are going to be $10. And I think that's going to come about maybe a week from now. So
That's pretty conservative, Uncle V.
I know it's very conservative. So all I'm saying is with that snapshot coming, acquire Epic Cash. Don't be that guy or that girl that's like, oh man, it's just hit 511. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to buy the dip. You know, it may go up and down. The other thing, listen to me right now. I want you to know that when you look at CoinMarketCap and you see the price like being at 463, no, go to Videx, go to the markets, and then hit BTC Epic Cash and then the buy button. Even if you don't have anything in there to buy, you can click on the top red, which if you had money in there, it would tell you in the left how much the price would be that you would be paying to get that. And it is always about, it seems 15 to 20% higher than what CoinMarketCap reflects.
Yeah, it's a big spread. And if you look at the sell orders on Byte, earlier this morning, there were about 69,000 Epic that would take the price up to like $119. Obviously, the variables will change, but that gives you an idea of
say that again. Say that again.
Yeah, let's go through that again.
This morning on the Byte exchange.
Enrique, I don't know if there's a setting on your mic, but you're coming in really echoey.
How about now?
Just talk.
Is it better?
Yeah, I think that may be better.
Okay, right now it's better.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
All right. So this morning there were about 69,000 Epic on active asks, or sell orders. And what that means is that there's only 69,000 Epic for sale on the exchange. And if someone were to come in and buy all of them, they would push the price up to about $119 per coin. So obviously variables change because as the buying starts, people may put in new sell orders or they may pull some off. But, nevertheless, that gives you an idea of the very few sellers that there are right now. And that's a trend that I've been observing over the last, few months about how the supply on this exchange has gone exponentially down. So that tells you something, that there are not too many people willing to sell at this point. And
why would that be? Could it be there's a snapshot coming up and people are starting to get that you'd never have to sell your Epic Cash because you can borrow against yourself in the future at 0 interest rate and 0 payments required? People are starting to catch on. When we go back to the map, that's going to start making sense. But I submit to you that it's like the people are selling are probably these miners that it's just their business, right? They don't care. They don't give a crap about snapshots or anything else. It's just their business. So the people in the know, which are you watching right now, if you're watching right now, and you're listening, you're going to know that probably the most silly thing you could do right now is think that when the price that you're going to put a sell order in at $5.50. And gosh, that's just, my goodness, don't get me started. Okay. Sorry about that.
The sellers right now, they obviously miners sell, maybe traders, people who need the money, but it makes no sense to sell, because you just want to get out of the project. If you've read, know what the Epicentral ecosystem is all about, ideally, you don't want to sell any coins because in the end, you won't have to sell any of them.
Yes, bingo. And so what happens then, because of the beautiful design of Epic Cash, it is designed like Bitcoin, price go up. Scarcity kicks in, price goes up. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, so that's actually an important point because I would submit that the scarcity profile of Epic is dramatically superior to BTC because we don't have the same fractional reserve problem. We don't have the same like financialization and the banking type stuff that has accumulated over the decade in BTC. And to the extent that we have any influence over it, we will endeavor to keep it that way. So it's a more pure respect of the 21 million than BTC, where you have platforms like Robinhood, where you're buying BTC, but you can't withdraw it. Well, what's to prevent them from going and buying like synthetic BTC from a Wall Street bank that's fractionalizing their balance sheet from over here? Like it's just it's more of the same. You're not dealing with blockchain, you're gambling. And if you want to gamble, there's a lot of great ways to gamble, and I'm not sure you need a blockchain for that. So
and those people who are in Robinhood, you can go to t.me/epichood, and that's a bunch of young people who finally got it, and they are over there building a really nice community.
Yeah, and it's $10 worth of Cash App at a time. So shout out to John D. Rocca Freeman, who's helping people onboard $5 at a time. You know, one coin here. We are working on P2P infrastructure of connecting people that have fiat with people that have coins. Now, until we have the smart contract infrastructure of the Epicenter open network, and specifically the Eon part of it that's there in the center, that needs to be kind of, you know, person to person and trust based, and oh, we know Bob is a good guy and so on. But essentially we're going to connect everything to everything, all these different blockchains in those unique ways where we don't degrade any of their essential fundamental properties. And so it should be really special in terms of being able to do absolutely everything that's good within cryptocurrency on a single unified platform where you don't have to give up your keys and trust anybody.
On this map, please take us down the subway stops of how, let's just say I have $100,000 of Epic and I need $25,000 to buy a car, let's say.
Right. So up north, and actually this is, imagine a cube, like so where it's multi-level and vertical, not just on a single plane. This is a version 1 design. The subsequent implementation will be kind of more like a labyrinth, if you can imagine. So you need to wrap your Epic to create an E1. And why wrap it? Because we need the proven smart contract infrastructure of platforms like Avalanche and Solana and Cadena and Ethereum, of course. If you can pull up the E1 one pager, that does a really good example of, or good job of explaining what what our access to infrastructure will be once we have that wrapping piece in place.
Let's I'm not prepared for that. I don't have that open anywhere in my.
Oh, okay, sure. So anyway, Trader Joe, Balancer, all these different platforms. So by wrapping the token wrapping the Epic coin into an E1 ERC20 token, we benefit from the entirety of DeFi infrastructure, which started out as Ethereum based and now has extended to these other blockchains that are compatible based on Solidity and the Ethereum virtual machine, or EVM, to offload transactions onto these other networks, generally for lower cost, higher speed, or new capabilities, or some combination of all three. So essentially, the strategy overall is that we take proven.
There you go, Mac. There you go.
What?
Take a look at the screen. I found it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's a good one. Maybe we can hide the thing on the side.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. Let's just work with it.
Okay, no problem. So you go to eDEX, the bridge specifically, and you connect to our partner OneChain's node network. They use something called secure multi-party computation, which is a really unique and special way to make sure that the system can't be compromised. And so for a small fee, which will be free or even at certain times with a rebate, depending on supply and demand, you will be able to mint E1 tokens by committing your Epic coins to the smart contract. And then once you have E1, you'll be able to trade them on those platforms. There's a whole bunch of different swap options on those different chains, at least 3 different full limit order books. Serum is completely observable, but has high performance and low cost. Loopring is a zero knowledge proof-based DEX, layer 2 for Ethereum. And then Waves gets into some interesting nooks and crannies, is an often overlooked good one that we like and that we're taking the time to figure out how to connect to. And then a variety of liquidity aggregators that provide kind of the lubrication to make all this work. And so if you want to buy, why this is important, and I'll get back to the EUSD use case in a second, is Monero just got delisted from Kraken UK. It's not illegal to offer privacy coins in the UK, but the regulator applied pressure that said, if you want to offer futures in the UK, which is a very profitable business, you have to delist Monero. That's the ask. And so specifically Coinbase.com or CoinbaseCrypto.com and Kraken UK, at least that we know about, have policies that prohibit them from adding assets that have any kind of confidentiality. And so I would say the biggest upside to this wrapping is in terms of market infrastructure. So wallets such as Coinbase Wallet and MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Wallet Connect, those are all good. And so essentially, the way it will work is, let's say you have your Epic coins wrapped into E1. You will post those into a smart contract, the Every Citizen's Reserve smart contract. So you can have Bank of Uncle V. And let's say the price is $5 today. You would have to put, and this is the initial settings, we're going to make this a lot higher loan to value and more capital efficient over time. But initially, we're going to tune it very, very safely. So you would put $50,000 or 100,000 or 50, what is that, at $5? That price is changing so fast. The math that used to hold in my head, I'm constantly having to course correct by orders of magnitude. So you stick 10,000 E1 tokens into the smart contract. You retain the keys. You're in control at all times. And now you've issued yourself a loan for 25,000 EUSD, and you use that to go buy the car. Now, at any time, if you want to get your 10,000 Epic back, all you have to do is pay back your 25,000 EUSD loan. So if the market crashes, you win. If the market keeps going up, you win.
Well, explain the dynamic of if it keeps going up. Just do that math, just to put it in perspective, that we imagine it will keep going up, how small that loan becomes in relation to your overall holdings.
So when you originate the transaction, I mean, under the hood, these are technically, you can think of them as swaptions. Okay. So yeah, that's a thing, right? So when you put out the Epic, the rate is $5. And then when you get it back, let's say the rate is $10. So it only takes half as much Epic to buy back your loan. If you're 10x, then it takes 10% of your Epic to buy back the loan. So let's say today we're at $5 and it is 10,000 Epic to make 50,000 EUSD. If we go to 100, it only takes 250 Epic. So you can sell 250 of your Epic to pay off your 2,500 EUSD loan, and now you have gotten back what? Let's say you put in 10,000, and now you got back 9,750. So you were able to advantage yourself to the tune of 97 to 2, just based on that first slight price move, and it could be even more than that. So then you get into the situation where, like, you remember over the past couple of decades with the real estate boom and bust and all that, where people were using refinancing the McMansions as as like an ATM machine. Honey, let's buy a boat and an RV and a big screen TV. great, charge it to the home.
Right.
And so, don't hate the player, hate the game. These, techniques that are proven within the financial services industry, we can put those to use in a sustainable way. That ultimately, even if not everybody chooses to use the self-lending system, the fact that it exists for some people and that they're in the network and doing business together with us based on their ability to service their needs, it increases the value of your presence, even if you don't use it. And that's really the force multiplier of all these things as they come together. The value, I mean, you can buy an iPhone 13 equivalent phone in China for like 20% of the price or 15% or something like that. It's probably what, 80% is good, 90% is good, 92% is good. Who knows? And for a lot of people, that's a smart trade-off. But the reason that Apple gets that massive value premium of trillions of dollars in the market. I mean, Samsung ships way more phones, but Apple makes all the money. We've observed those lessons and tried to be strategic about where we're going to position and where we're going to focus. And so in some places we are more Apple-like, but in some places we're more Android-like, and even some places more Microsoft-like, because that they've really shown that the marketplace winner isn't always the most elegant technical solution. It may just be the most adroit virus creator at the helm.
So I just want people to look at this really, really quickly. And ECR is going to be so critical. After the snapshot, if somebody gets into Epic Cash and then they, let's say in a half a year, they want to be able to borrow from their own Epic holdings, they're going to have to go out and acquire with additional fiat the ECR. So this is why I cannot, and look, it's not trying to pump this thing. It's trying to educate people. I'm not doing anything that I haven't done myself. And my daughter, daughters, plural, even my ex-wife, we have a great relationship. She just got into Epic Cash last night. My daughter was so darn excited. She's like,
my ex-wife is in Epic too. I bumped into her here in Miami after like 10 years. And it wasn't the most harmonious of separations, but when I found out she had gotten married like an hour before at the courthouse, I ended up sending her her husband. He's actually from Venezuela, nice enough guy. I sent him a wedding gift, as is my custom. So I think he's up. He's probably up $5,000 based on the gift. Opportune timing. So we can really spread a lot of good cheer and harmony to lots of people with small stuff like that.
Max gave me a good wedding gift too. That's gone up substantially.
Right? Yeah.
My wife asked me this morning, what are we going to get the kids for Christmas? And I said, Epic Cash. And she said, there's more than just Epic Cash. And I said, that's on you. I'm giving them Epic Cash. So, okay, so this is great. I'm going to stop the screen share there and then go back to really quickly our favored Subway. Where are you? Sorry, I got it.
Well, after Dustine recommended that we check out the idea of layers, this is what emerged. So hat tip to him. If you set up an Epic Fund Me, I know the VTC market's down and we're feeling flush. So thank you for the inspiration there, Dustine. I'll always appreciate you.
There we go. Yeah. Layers, you should check it out. So all of those BT maxis that just were like the Slaughterhouse Five when you and Yoga got on with them. It's really interesting. I don't know if I've shared this or not, but let me, just for posterity's sake, I would like to let you know the BTC maxis from September, they are up $180, guys.
Just a quick fact right there. If they would have put one BTC in at that time, they would be able to buy 16 BTC with the current rise. So It's quite dramatic.
Meanwhile, he was mocking, saying he could buy our whole blockchain at that point in time, which was like, go ahead, man.
Well, now he can buy a block.
Oh, at some point in time, people are going to start paying attention, and I'm telling people directly, this is what happens, right? And I've been there. It's like, I remember when I was buying in, and then I start telling my friends about it. My friends get some, and let's say it's gone from 24 cents to 49 cents. And then Puccinelli comes in, and he goes and he gobbles up a bunch, and and then all of a sudden there becomes a dip. And now, instead of at the 50 cents basis, let's say maybe he was in, it got down to like 36 cents or whatever. And so to the new person who's just coming in, it feels kind of like a gut punch. Like, man, I'm down, on the second day after acquiring it. Well, here in less than 3 months, we're from 24 cents to, in my case, 24 cents to over $5. And it's just interesting emotionally how, as soon as we hit the all-time highs, people want to get in. I guess that's the FOMO part of it. But they always feel like maybe I shouldn't, because it looks like it's already had its run. Can you comment on that, Enrique?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you have to have patience here, because I got some people asking me when we were at around probably 80, 90 cents that they were going to wait for a dip to buy, and that it had gone up from 30 cents. It had done a 3x. So that was quite a dramatic rise. But look at where we are now. And when you have a coin like Epic that's part of a greater ecosystem, and it's not a pump and dump or some of these other, pre-mined ICO kind of structures, you have real value, and it's organic. It's a community-driven project. So when you have that, you need to look at it long-term. You can't focus on the price and be checking the price every day or every couple of hours, because there's a lot of volatility. It's a coin that currently has a $60 million market cap. So there's quite a lot of volatility, and we don't have trading bots. There's no wash trading, as in, pretty much all of the other cryptocurrencies that you see on the exchanges. So when you have that, you just need to wait. And like you said, you're calling for $10 by the end of the month. I think it can go substantially higher than that, but we'll have to wait and see. But the point is, if someone buys in right now, and let's say the price corrects 30%, whatever, by the first quarter of next year or within 1 year, you'll be, your whatever amount of money you decide to put in will be exponentially higher. And that's simply how it works. It's simple.
Enrique, I know Max disdains talking about price, so I'm going to
pretend he does.
I'm going to pretend he's not on the phone for this next question. But
okay.
But I would like you traded for a living, like 2 years. You study the charts. You're in the charts. You understand it more than most. Okay. Mm-hmm. Give me a price prediction end of 2022.
End of 2022. I'll be conservative and say $1,000.
Okay, that was my number. All right,
and I'm gonna violate my normal practice just this once and reiterate what I've long said for that time frame. I agree it's conservative, and if we can't do 10, then call me to account that we've really done probably a lot of things wrong. So
if
for
we
me,
if we
can't do 10,000.
Yes,
that's what he said. Yeah,
by the end of 2022.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Breaking news, guys. You heard it here.
Well, and let's look at what that means, because let's say BTC goes to 100 grand. If Lightning ever takes off, it makes it worse. But you're looking at $100 transfer fees for 10-minute service that's censorable and all this red tape and all this stuff, it's no longer what it was. So you have the price going up, the costs going up, and the functionality degrading. By that time, okay, already our capacity is 4 times that of BTC, and we haven't made it more because we don't need it. But I mean, we could be doing 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, 100 times their capacity at a fraction of the cost. And so if you can do better service for cheaper, I think that the history of dial-up modem giving way to DSL and 3G giving way to 4G tells us that our proposition should be obvious. And I don't talk about price for a lot of reasons, but in this case, it'd be a disservice because people are asking me, hey, I have bills to pay. Should I hit that bid at $5? And the answer is, if you think that $20 is a lot, then hold out for that. Maybe 5 is a good part of the way there. But if we're such a tiny fraction of the way to where we have the even possibility of going, then you need to look at it in a different light. And so all along this journey, like you, I've had people that ask themselves, is it too late, and where do we go from here? Yeah. And usually the I'm going to wait till next week ends up getting you much fewer coins. There was another guy that's been thinking about coming in for 10,000 for months, and in the beginning it was you can have, I think it was, you can have 20,000 coins for 10 grand when he was first thinking about it. And now today, oh wait, sir, you mean I can only get 2,000? Well, no, that's what CoinMarketCap says. If you go to the market, you're looking at $7, $8, $10 if you can even find it. Oh wow. So you mean I could have had 20,000 coins easily months ago. Now I can only have 10% of that with great difficulty. How should I think about that? And so that $10,000 number is well supported on no speculative value at all, simply based on the costs that are avoided from high fee wire transfers, high friction services where you don't know if your money is going to actually make it, and get held up in banking hell, call customer service to wait on hold. And
not to rub his nose in it, but I just did the math. I have my calculator right here, and if your prediction holds, that was a $200 million mistake. Just saying.
Yeah, and most of us in our lifetimes don't have the chance to even come into contact with somebody who has made that, much less do it ourselves. Those are the stories that we hear about that happened to someone else. And here, I
will tell you that I have been wearing this Tampa Bay Buccaneers Tom Brady Bucks jersey a lot lately, because it just seems like when I do, price we keep breaking all-time highs. So now I'm looking, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, maybe I just don't have to think about box seats. If your prediction's right, I may just buy the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
we have to keep in mind the future value of the US dollar,
exactly.
$1 million today will buy you a lot more than what $1 million will buy you, say, in 5 years. But it'll still be, your purchasing power will increase vastly, regardless of where the US dollar stands in terms of purchasing power.
Yeah, you're gonna get more barrels of oil, bushels of bread, square footage of real estate, plumbing man hours of labor, all that stuff. You're gonna be gaining ground, whereas in all these other forms of money, you're losing ground. So for this member of our community that I went through the exercise with today, I pulled up the Turkish central bank balance sheet and sent it to him, and he said, "What's this? I don't understand." And I said, "This is the reason that your cost of living has gone up, and meanwhile your salary has not, and why you're thinking about selling your precious Epic for this, heaven sent windfall of $5. Well, where are you going to be 6 months from now?" And and so helping him put that in perspective. And so this is my one time of deviating from an explicit price projection. And the reason I have that number is because there's a lot of $45 wire transfers. There's a lot of stuck money in various, like, oh, your money's blocked here for 6 months, nothing you can do about it type of stuff, with reserves and payment industry shenanigans. And also a lot of the infrastructure that we've been working on in many cases for years is now maturing to the point where we can do it. I mean, imagine you walk into a retail store, just like you can buy an iTunes gift card. Imagine you can load up your Epic wallet. Well, there's a lot of mobile mining recharge that does just that all around the world. And if our system can do a better job for cheaper, then why wouldn't it happen? And so when you add all that together, we know that a Bitcoin style public permissionless network, that is the way that BTC started out as back when it was Bitcoin, is worth at least $1 trillion. That's the market value of the leader today. And so if we can offer superior performance on every attribute, and we do, then it's just a matter of time. And so I'm working on fleshing out those ideas into a book format. I call it the inevitability theorem. But basically, if you just take it, like a geometry proof in high school, this leads to this, leads to this, leads to this. And that's the way you actually form out a proof for something. Is you don't believe it in your gut to be true. You make it so through your logic and reason. And here, if we cannot get to the point where we are able to achieve parity with one BTC to one Epic by the singularity, and I think we'll probably have 2-3 cycles in between. And so you have to be prepared for a 90% retrace at any time. And it's not going to make any sense. China bans crypto. China doesn't ban crypto. Your wife gets sick. Something happens, like whatever. So if you can stomach that volatility over time, the 21 million versus the infinity of the fiat currency really puts you ahead. But you have to think about it in the right way. And so as some of these other gambling type here today, gone tomorrow, pump and dump type schemes we'll talk about more tonight fall by the wayside, those people become more educated consumers, that we're not just talking about funky grape juice. This is a fine Cabernet. Sit and have a glass and we'll tell you about it.
I can't end it on a better note. It's 1 o'clock. We're going to keep it to an hour. So everyone in the chat, thank you. Max, L. McMurphy, and I just want to call you Enrique. Thank you very much. I can't wait to see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Everybody come back. Everybody, if you love someone who is a TCV member, you need to just give them a link to my channel and say, don't shoot the messenger, but they're going to unpack the Crypto Vigilante's portfolio and how their trashing Epic Cash has impacted you financially. And go ahead.
No, yeah, just one thing to subscribers of those kinds of services. There are no trading secrets, so it's as simple as that.
The secret is you get a bunch of people to pay you so that you can convince them that their products that you hold are more valuable, and then you sell them to them, and then you find a new crop after those cycle out. I mean,
that's the secret.
That's the business model. That is the secret. But that's less trading and more like shearing.
I was going to name tonight's show Epic Cash versus the Crypto Vigilante, but I might change it to, and you pay for that shit?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like just to spoil the ending, because this might get more people to tune in. But what have they cost people had they put a portion into us versus them? I think they're down like 50+%, and we're up like 1,000 or something. So if they had said, we don't like Mimblewimble, but if you put 2% in just in case, it would have like dominated their whole portfolio. But this it's like sustained attacks for years. And initially we didn't know where it was coming from. We thought they were honest, credible people that just didn't understand. And then eventually it became clear. And so for years, it's just one mud-slinging thing after another, where if we even respond to it, we look bad because we're in the mud rolling with pigs. And so we've had to stand by and listen to the same debunked FUD about hit piece articles from 2 years ago or 3 years ago now, that still keep coming up for people. And so we have gone in the time that this has really been in focus the past few months from 3 million to 60 million market cap, and the top 3 holdings that comprise 54% of their portfolio are down 60%, I think it is. So, I mean, it's really, really dramatic. Like hundreds of millions of dollars of people's wealth have been lost, and opportunity cost has been lost, and precious innocence has been lost, because now all those people once burned are twice shy, and they're necessarily more wary and more reluctant to hear us out.
Great point.
It's been transferred, not lost.
Yeah, transferred, not lost. Well, I'm going to end this with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, and then my cheers. But the 5 words are, according to tonight,